Yes, 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 yes. I love Chicago, Chi-town. Um, love it. Oh, Chicago. This is for my Chicago friends, everybody out there in that area and Missouri. Ah, everything we talk about tonight is between consenting adults. A lot of it's role play. It's a lifestyle. This is a culture. Please, please don't judge. We're law-abiding citizens. We pay our taxes. We don't harm anybody unless it's consensual. Um, yeah, we don't break laws. This is a lifestyle. It's a culture. Please, please, please don't judge. Open your mind. Be cool. Be kind. Keep an open mind. This is your Kiki friends. I am I'm absolutely I'm absolutely honored to be here tonight with Chicago Mistress Simone. Throughout the years and through the liver transplant, through getting into the kink community, there's a certain vibe, there's a certain connection, and when you see people, you just instantly connect, and you like feel they get it. I love the kink community. This person loves the kink community too. Please, everybody. We're going to talk about Chicago. We're going to talk about casement, but most of all, we're going to talk about control. And I'm probably going to lose control in this podcast because she's going to take control. Oh my God, I am so honored, and you should be too. So, utmost respect for Chicago Mistress Simone. Thank you very much for being here. How are you?
I am good. Thank you for having me. It's nice to finally be here. I know we've been trying to connect for a while, and I am glad we finally made it work. It's been forever. So thank you for having me on.
So I'm going to start it out as I usually do. What's inspiring you these days?
Hmm. Well, basic survival
Yeah.
seems like
Yeah.
we're all kind of struggling with that, and where we are in the world nowadays, and the changes we're going through. But I think that's what is inspiring me right now is the kinky people, but especially the fellow pro doms and sex workers that are stepping up and stepping forward and expressing themselves and new ways of expression and artistic exposure and pushing the boundaries in regards to fetishes and what's allowed and what's expected. So I would say other sex workers.
Yes, definitely. And that's why I love seeing you do such imaginative work. You really do. People should go on, check her work out. It's awesome. It's great, and it's got style too. It's wonderful.
Oh,
So Chicago, St. Louis. You are Chicago, Mr. Simone, but you have two dungeons. You have one in
mhm.
Chicago, one in St. Louis, and right now it's transition period. You just put out a blog all about what's going on. Can you tell us what the current state of your dungeons are?
So, as many people know, I've been dually located for about 20 years. I've started in Chicago in 93, so I've had my own dungeon in Chicago for 32 years. And about 19, 20 years ago, I started my second location in St. Louis. So I've been going back and forth regularly for about 20 years. It's a bit exhausting. Right now, I have been in my current location for 17 years, which is a little over half my career. And I love my studio. It's been a wonderful home to so many organizations and so many touring DOMs and local DOMs. But it's kind of deteriorated over time. The building has changed hands. It's gone through a couple management companies. In fact, I think I've been through 7 building companies. But it's been leaking in the ceiling for about 10 years and it's just getting worse. And now there's some other issues with it. There's some mold, some peeling paint. And I don't want to express my intimate, intense sessions while my submissive is on my table looking at a big hole in my ceiling. I'm just kind of done with it. It's a lot of
Yeah.
responsibility. It's a lot of changes. The socio economic political climate of the world has changed, and that is affecting things. But also traffic in Chicago has gotten, oh my God, horrible. It takes me 2 hours to get to my dungeon. And I just want to free up my time and have less overhead and less responsibility, go in, do my sessions, connect with my slaves, spend more time focused on them than whether they're going to get dripped on.
Yes. And when you were describing that, I was thinking about your work with encasement. And if I was like, I was tied up or I was restrained in a straitjacket and I couldn't move, and I'm looking at the ceiling and I see that, that's gonna have a lasting effect on me. I'm an author, so I'll probably write a whole chapter about it and think about the symbolism of it and stuff like that.
I mean, it works if I'm like, have you on my mummy table and I just do waterboarding or water
Oh
torture.
yeah.
You have like one raindrop falling over and over again. But, so I've had to move things in my dungeon. I've had to position it. I use my front room more. And it's just, the new landlord is not being responsive. It's just like, yeah, it's time for change.
That brings me to another question. Is um, a lot of Dom friends, and they have their dungeons too, and they have issues with landlords. I didn't put this in the question list, but for those out there who have a landlord but also have a dungeon, is there any advice you can give to them that they may not even think of? That any advice helps, even if it's obvious.
Well, I would say that don't move into a place where they don't know what you do. Every single location I've had, and I have had 4 rental properties in Chicago. Every landlord toured my space with me, knew what I was doing, knew it was legal. Yes, it was kind of on the gray area, but we weren't doing any prostitution. So don't lie, don't try to hide what you do. Be honest in a board, and also let the fire people know, the fire department know, and my alderman. We have aldermen in Chicago, so my alderman also knew what I did, what was there. So being fully disclosed to me has benefited. It may not work for everybody depending on where you are, but because I am in Chicago and the way I approached them is like, this is what I do. It's a business. Here's my paperwork. So I wouldn't hide what I do. And if you're in this position, just buy your own damn building.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you for that advice, because that was something I didn't think of. That, and I'm always want to get as much information as possible to help out anybody listen to this show. That was great. Thank you. So, there are a lot of a lot of DOMs have specialties. You know what I mean? Some people love, like, they focus just on sissification or just on ABDLs. It's just pain. Some just want to just cause pain. Yours, here, I'll just ask you, what would you say your specialties are? The ones that, yeah.
My specialties are heavy bondage, mummification, and CBT and medical fetish.
Okay. Awesome. We'll get all into that. But I noticed that your main thing is control. What is like in your bio, and you always say control? What does that entail necessarily? What does it mean to you?
Control to me varies depending on what I'm doing, but if you distill it down to its essence, it basically means that while we are engaged in our power exchange, the ultimate decision rests with me, and me controlling your sensory input, your bodily output, your physical positioning. That's what control means to me.
How'd you first discover BDSM? Decide, like, this is something to do professionally.
Okay, clarify the question. I think I heard 2 questions.
Oh yeah, I actually wrote it down. Put it on the. You can read it on the bottom.
Oh, well, there we go.
How did you first
Look at
discover
that.
BDSM and decide that this is what I want to do professionally?
Okay, well, definitely two different aspects there. I've been kinky since I was like 8. You know, I of the generation of Catwoman and Wonder Woman and cowboys and Indians, and I would always tie the little boys up to my tree playing Wonder Woman and Catwoman and have my little fake whip. So, like many of us, those were the factors. But I think I tied my first boy up when I was 15 and my first girl up when I was 16 and, spanked him a little. So to me, it's an innate control and domination for me. It's not something that, did I discover it? Yes, but I've always been the dominant one in most of my encounters and deciding
Back
to do.
then,
Hmm?
which did you like better tying up, boys or girls? Did you have a preference, or just you just like tying people up?
I think I just like tying people up.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like, I don't really know. I think both.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Like,
I used to do. I used to make homemade straitjackets and out of like
you mentioned
raincoats
that.
and belts and stuff like that. And,
That
yeah,
sounds
you just
fun.
to tie, just to feel the restraint, just to and learn about it, stuff like that.
Mhm.
So you've been a professional dominatrix for 32 years.
32
What
years.
kept what kept you doing it for so long? Like what keeps you going?
What keeps me going is the uniqueness of every encounter. I love the fact that every day for me is different. Even if I've had a submissive for 20 years, and I have had some of my submissives for 20 years, every time we get together or we engage in something, it's different. It's
I'm,
stimulating, it's intriguing, it's challenging. I'm not sitting in a cubicle, which no offense to cubicles, they're great, but I get a
you
lot of
can't do cubicles.
freedom. I was gonna say
You
I get a
can't
lot of
fend on
freedom.
Fridays.
Right. I get a lot of freedom of expression, and I hate to say it, but my office and my outfit for work, it beats everybody's. I'm sorry.
Yes, it does. Oh, that's another thing. I didn't put that in the questions either. I love your outfits. Holy moly.
Thank you.
So, how much, let me put it this way, does your outfit dictate what you're going to do, or does what you're going to do dictate the outfit when you put it on each session?
What I'm going to do dictates my outfit. Yeah.
All right.
And also, yes, I would say my mood for the day and who I'm engaging with. And, I do a lot of theme bondage and a lot of fun.
Mhm.
So I will dress according to that. So what I'm going to do definitely affects how I'm going to present and what I'm going to wear.
Okay, we have a question here. When you do sissification, do you
Mhm.
dress differently?
Yes, of course I do. Yeah,
So
I
what?
dress according. I'll dress. It depends on my sissy and I. If my sissy's going to be in frilly satin, I may wear, something like a suit or something more maternal or something kind of like what I'm wearing now. If my sissy is going to be fully encased in like a Rubbermaid outfit, then I'm going to probably wear one of my log rubber gowns. So it kind of depends on what kind of sissification look we are trying to go for. Yeah, you get to
I want
field
you
the
to ask.
questions because I can't get into the chat.
Oh, no worries. No worry. I'll put them right back in there. That's what they're there for for
Yeah,
me to put them up. So this is the next question. You're known as Chicago Mistress.
I
So in
am.
three words. There are artistic obstruction in 3 words. What do you love about Chicago?
I love the diversity.
Yeah.
I love the lakefront, and I love the restaurants.
Yes. Yes. Excellent. I had some of the best salmon in Chicago, believe it or not. Just
Mhm.
the way it's cooked through the restaurants are amazing. The
I
first time
have
I had
the
wild hot
argument
dog.
I have the argument with my best friend in New York that, Chicago is really close to New York for food, and she's like, "No way," and I'm like, "Yeah, way."
Chicago's
So,
excellent.
yeah.
There are okay. I know some New Yorkers do not like Chicago, the deep dish pizza because it's like
I don't
soup.
like the deep dish pizza. That's not Chicago pizza.
Yeah, well, it's not. It's like a special occasion thing. It's not right. It's not anyway.
Yeah. Let's not do the pizza argument.
Yes, that's go into control. See, you're controlling it. You love control. Let's talk about philosophy of control. You say your main kink is control.
Mhm.
Um, hmm, what are some fun ways to control people on with sissification? For example, before you answer, uh, I've done this thing called Femdom Fridays where I have to wear garter belts and stockings to work and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I don't do that anymore. Um, but like stuff like that. That was control. I had to, I had to do it. What are some fun ways, some new ways of control that you've been playing with?
Well, since the advent of our internet and our phones, control has gotten much easier. So it's fun to control my submissives via the cellular devices, whether it's them sending me dirty pictures or recording short videos. One of my slaves has to give me a panty picture every morning, and it has to be a different panty every day. So he's increased his variety of panties. I also love sending men and women to work or special events with things underneath their regular garments that only we know. So it's gotten much easier. There's remote control devices. I can control a butt plug. I can control a vibrator. So those are some of the ways that I think are kind of cool right now.
What are some of the things that you make them wear underneath their work clothes?
It can be anywhere from a cock cage, a chastity device, to a butt plug, to a pair of stockings and some sexy panties and a garter belt or a bra.
A bra. So it's like all right, they're wearing a bra. Like I'm
Like,
wearing this.
imagine a bra under your suit.
Well, if
But
I have a corset under my suit, right? But you can't see.
there, exactly. There you go.
Yeah, that's true. So the cups are small usually, or do you make them have big
Yeah,
cups?
they don't do these.
Uh,
They don't do those.
okay, but all right. You also mentioned both playful scenes and intense psychological mind trips. Can you give an example of that? Like,
Well, a playful scene would kind of be like the one I did with my nobody slave, and that would be tying him up to my whipping post. And I got a Nerf gun. He got me a Nerf gun, tied up his cock and balls, and just took target practice with the Nerf gun. Yeah, it was like dance bitch dance. So I love perverting vanilla things or having my slaves
yes.
bring me things to pervert, dressing them up. Mr. Luca and I from New York, we did the same thing with one of my slaves. We made him into a Mario, and we did one of the cubes, and every time we kicked him in the balls, it went coin shot out of it. So those are the playful things for me. You have to have fun. It's called play for a reason.
Yeah, I was noticing on
Okay,
your I think it was your Instagram or Twitter or X, whatever it's called.
pick a word.
you 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 did a lot of like pride stuff, so you use a lot of flags. And
Mhm,
I've done you I think saran wrap someone to a pole, like a ceramic pole, and you put like a clown head
mhm,
or wig on them, something like that. Um,
mhm.
I love the whimsical nature of you, especially because you have this beautiful style of this kind of like witchy goth, you know,
Me.
feel to it. Yeah, 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 which I absolutely adore. And you could tell the real ones. I can tell. You know what I mean? So that really resonates with me. Okay, great. So let me ask you this. That goes into the next thing.
Mhm,
Realistic spiritual sessions.
mhm.
Now a lot of people play that role, like they'll just act, you know. But then some really embody it. So what makes a session feel realistic for you? And when it comes to ritualistic, what makes it feel ritualistic? Excuse me.
Intent, timing, and the person that I'm involved with. Um, if someone's coming to see me and we haven't really developed a connection, or they're not collared to me, or not a regular, someone who's bonded to me in some way, the ritual is going to be slightly different. It's not going to be as permanent, maybe as intense. So, time of year, what I'm doing. Are we doing something like a branding? I just branded the four elements onto my pincushion. So again, it kind of depends on what I'm doing and who I'm doing it with. I can do a ritualistic session. Oh, one of my favorite pictures. Can do a ritualistic session with someone who's new to me, and it kind of embodies the darkness. So it would depend on what we were going to do. Is the mood darker? Is the lighting lower? Are we doing candles? Doing wax play? Wax play is very ritualistic. It is a great way to start to
Yeah.
bring someone into it, because it going on the body gives that kind of warm sensual sensation, and then removing it as well. So that would be kind of two ways to express a ritualistic feeling for me. There I am.
Yeah. You have a beautiful website too.
Thank you. It
Suspension.
was built by a friend of mine in Paris, and she no longer does them, and I'm so afraid if I ever lose it. That's my favorite website.
Very well done. Yeah, I love it. Um, all right. So suspension and intensive bondage is something you do. I love it myself. Like I said, I used to make homemade straight jackets.
Mhm.
I like, I don't know, like one of the things that I really enjoy is locked in chastity, fully dressed, and then just totally bound, gagged, and just in a bed or something like that.
Mhm.
You know, but it takes a lot of practice. So
It does.
it takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of skill. So how do you train and maintain the competence for this?
Reinforcement, reinforcement, reinforcement. If you really want to devote yourself to something like a chastity device or 24/7, or pegging, strap on, anything that is going to be part of your regime, your slave regime, you have to start small. Don't have your eyes or your asshole bigger than your tummy. And work your way up. Have patience, because a lot of submissives will get very frustrated if they can't do the 10th high thing, and they have to start at 2. Well, I want you to be able to take it in the long run for me. So if we have to start at 2, then we're going to start at 2. And maintaining the competence, once you get to a point where you feel like, okay, I'm where I want to be now. I'm wearing the cage 24/7, or I'm taking the 10-inch dildo. You have to maintain that. And that's regular play, whether it's together or virtual. Consistency, consistency, consistency breeds satisfaction.
Yes, I love that. I love it.
Thank you.
Consistency, consistency, consistency. Read sass. Breath play is on your list. It's quite controversial, very controversial. So, how do you frame consent and risk declines around it with breath play? Like,
Um,
how do you make sure breath play is safe completely? Like, you don't want to kill anyone.
no, thank
No,
you. I had 32 years. I haven't killed anyone, knock on wood.
I know.
Um, Breath play is something I only do with people I've seen quite a few times. I'm not going to do it right off the bat with someone I've never played with, because I don't know their
Mhm.
bodily responses. Even if you come in and tell me, "Oh, I've had bags over my head and gas masks on for 20 years," you haven't done it with me. I don't know who you are, so I can't read your body. So I need to get to learn your body and know a little bit more about your responses. So if you do go into a panic attack or a medical emergency issue, I'm aware of it. And I'm going to start out very slow. It's going to be, a gas mask. It's going to be my hand over your nose and your mouth. I'm not going to put you into my rebreather studio gum mask until I know who you are.
Goes to the next question. Like, how do you structure the negotiation and limits with somebody who's seeking something incredibly intense? Like some of the people on the show, they make manginas. They've been in like toilet coffins. They've been bound and restrained for hours and hours.
Hmm?
Uh, how do you negotiate something?
Well, I mean, negotiation is key to every kind of kink encounter, whether it's professional or not. And the best thing that you have with negotiation is honesty. And I am going to be and expect complete honesty from the people I'm playing with. If you tell me that you are experienced in a coffin, if you tell me that you're experienced with breath play, and I need to not only believe you, but know that you are telling me the truth and then that you're not lying and leaving something out. So we will probably still start with lower limits and book a long enough session or play with me long enough that I know, okay, I'm going to start where I'm safe, even if it's not where you want, but we will build up to that point once I am comfortable and I know that you can take what I can dish out. And my limit may be different than your limit the first time. Doms do have limits. Just because a submissive comes to you and says, hey, I want to do, remove my balls or, put a bag over my head or bury me in the ground. I may not be comfortable doing that. And the submissive has to be willing to accept my limits as well. And then we can build up from there. Okay, so we're not going to do that this time, but maybe next time we'll do it. Rack. Gotta have rack.
Right, we have some people in the chat. They want to say hi. PD says, greetings, goddess Simone. This lowly slave bows down at your divine feet and welcomes you.
Oh, well, hello,
Rob,
PD. Thank you.
Rob5KC1 says, hello, man. Hello, Mr. Tanek.
That's one of mine. Hello. I'm glad you're here.
Hello. I'm glad you're here. And you know what? It is good to be here. I am glad to be here. I'm very glad to be here. We have Thalia says, hello, ma'am.
It's
None
Talia,
67.
and that's one of mine too.
Yes. Oh yeah, people came out. This is awesome. This is so great interviewing you too, because like as soon as I got you, I started promoting it, and like I did a typo and someone fixed it. Someone got to me, fixed it. You have a crew. I love that.
I have a crew.
Oh,
I have a crew.
Badass.
I have a crew.
You're such a badass. It's awesome. Inspiring. None 67. Hi, mistress. Wondering, ever done sounding? And does it make subs finish? Also wanted to see if that happens always or sometimes. Do you hate it?
Do I hate which part? None 67, the sounding or them finishing with the sounding in? But
let's take it one at a time. Let's take it
one at a time. Honey sounding is one of my main fetishes. I'm a medical fetishist and I love sounding, whether it's regular sounding, double sounding, electric sounding, finger sounding. If it's safe and I can do it, I'm going to stick something down that dick hole.
Yes.
Simple as that. Cool. It is. And does it make subs finish? Only if I allow it. And if you do it without my permission, then we're going to have another issue. And sometimes it happens without my permission, and then we have an issue, and sometimes I allow it. And no, I do not hate it. In fact, it's one of my favorites.
Thank you. Thank you. And shout out to Ed Wood from Mischief Manor. This man sounds himself and he's getting bigger. He's getting bigger ones and bigger ones and bigger ones. Yeah, shout out to him. PD asks, what are some of the most humiliating things you have done to a slave or sub, goddess?
PD, that I love the question and I appreciate it, but it really depends on what you refer to as humiliation. Are you talking psychological? Are you talking physical? Are you talking embarrassment? I am a big embarrassment dom. I love to embarrass my submissives. I think one of my favorite scenes I have ever done was again with Mr. Luca, and we had my collared slave tied up in my Chicago dungeon, and we doused him in our menstrual blood. Just took a cup and poured it right over his head and let it dry and let it stay there. And that was probably one of my favorite things to do.
Shout out to Elena DeLuca. She is wonderful. I gotta get in touch with her. She's done the show many times. She's contributed to articles and everything. Especially when I was just starting doing this. She was very kind, very helpful, and informative.
That's her.
Very inspiring. What if I can't tell her I said hi, please?
I will.
if you see her, I
will.
All right, let's. All right, aftercare. What does aftercare look like for you after an intense session? And when I say intense, your idea of an intense session, which is a lot more intense than what other people think too.
True, very true. Aftercare, I actually just wrote, did I just write an article about this or anyway, aftercare really depends on who I'm playing with. If you're talking about aftercare for the submissive or fetishist, that really depends on them. What do they need? The basic minimum I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that you can walk out my door safely. I'm going to make sure that your mental state is focused on me. You can have a conversation. You're not dazed and confused. You have enough fluids in you. You can walk. Your body is back to normal. Your breathing is back to normal. So that is the bare minimum of aftercare. I'm not letting you leave until I'm sure that you can move in the world to the point where you're going to be able to rest next. After that, aftercare is really dependent on the person I'm playing with. Some people love to get kicked in the corner and spit on and say, when you're feeling back to normal, come to me. Other people like to lay at my feet and put their head on my lap. Some people like to talk. It's amazing how many submissives are energized after a heavy, intense session and they just want to, and I'm like, okay, we're talking. So it really depends
Yeah.
on what the person needs. And I do ask that beforehand in my intake. Like, do you need aftercare? Have you done aftercare? Do you know what it is? And we just kind of go from the intake, what they say, and then afterwards, what they feel they need and what I think they need.
Some of the doms that I've talked to said there was never enough aftercare. Is that something you agree with?
No, I don't.
Okay. That's why I
And the
wanted to
reason,
ask you.
yeah, and here's the reason I don't agree with it, because there are people for who them aftercare is just saying, thank you, ma'am, I had a wonderful time. I'm gonna check
Yeah,
out and go back to my hotel
I want to
and
get out.
talk to you next time. And they're done.
Yeah, yeah. It's
And
like over.
that's their aftercare. I'm not gonna force aftercare on someone because then it's crossing their boundaries. And if someone says, I'm cool, I don't need anything, I'll see you, next month, same time, same bat place. And, I don't ever get an email and then they come see me next month. That's fine. That's their boundary. It's
I am so glad that you said that. I really am. All right. You pride yourself, and you say that you're open to all genders, sexualities, ethnicities, differently abled people. So, as an educational answer, I guess, how do you make sessions accessible and inclusive?
in my current location, accessibility is a little challenging because it can be hard for people to get up to my location. In my next space, there is no barrier for people who may have accessibility issues to get to. So that was another reason for one change is I'm tired of the freaking stairs. So having a location, two locations at my disposal now that are more accessible is going to be a huge thing for me because then I can be more welcoming and more comfortable. Inclusivity depends on the person I'm playing with and the people that I'm engaging with because inclusivity, you can feel that you're being inclusive, but you're actually being insulting. So the best way I've found to be inclusive is to just kind of listen to the person, listen to what's coming out of their mouth. What are they saying? What are their verbiage? What is the pronouns they're using? What terminology are they're using? And try and be respectful and mirror and engage with them on their own level.
That's a great answer. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
So, you're a community activist,
Mhm.
an educator. What
More
would
activist, more educator.
What are the most pressing issues facing the kink community right now?
Division, division, really, because we are such a diverse lot, and that's in socioeconomic status, that's in political status, um, and infighting can degrade our unity as a community when right now we need it to protect laws and the sanctity of our spaces and the people who do this professionally and the ability to express ourselves. both online and in clubs and um, private spaces. And if we are too busy infighting and bickering because this person doesn't necessarily agree with me, then we're going to just tear each other to shreds. Now, given that, there are some basic rights and basic tenets. And if we do have someone who's abusing people or being abusive or is not being honest and forthright, then we as a community do need to stand up. But we need to make sure that we're on the right page and that we're backed up by, actual facts. Facts are important.
Definitely. Oh my. So you've taught widely. You've produced educational clips. You're an educator. You're a mentor.
Yeah. Yes.
When you meet newer dominants, what's the single most important lesson that you try to pass on? If you had to choose one lesson that sticks with them.
Can I choose two? Do I have to ask your
Okay,
permission?
sure. No, you don't. This is you have power over the show. This is Simone.
The first thing I'm going to tell new dominants, regardless of gender, is bitch does not equal dominant. So just because you can be nasty doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do. There's a big difference between being dominant and being domineering. And there are times to be dominant and there are times to be domineering. But if you are constantly bitch and that is your brand, that's great. But try and kind of modulate and see who you are and what you're presenting. Find your own style, find who you are, and be comfortable who you are. Because if you're not authentically into your own style of dominant, the submissive is going to be able to tell. The second thing I would say, right?
Yeah.
Second thing I would say, the second thing is educate yourself as much as possible and then take what you need from that. I'm going to teach flogging completely different than a male dom or another pro dom or a lifestyler. So take 6 or 7 flogging classes and then develop your own style. There is no one true way. There is no right way. There is no old guard. There is no, we have to do it this way. Is there protocol? Sure. Is there respect? Sure. But not everyone is going to be able to do the same thing the same way, nor should we, because it's fucking boring.
Yeah,
there
that's
you
true. Yeah, and it's just like, every artist is different. I look at flogging, I look at what you do, I look at it as art. I mean, it's a performance in a way. There's costumes. It's like seriously,
there are.
Yeah, it's an art, and as a performance, right? Every
Agreed.
character, every actor has their own style they bring to the role, right? That's the beauty of it. All right, let me ask you this. Um, okay, over 32 years, um, what's a memorable moment that you had that you'd think shaped your work? Like a moment that was like that really shaped your work, that set you on a path within this profession, within this lifestyle.
Are you talking a work experience or a
Yeah, or
personal
anything really.
experience?
Anything that
Or
really that shaped you, that shaped how you became a dominate your style. I'm sure you've been doing it for 32 years. So somewhere in the like you probably had experience in something. There's always a moment of evolution, there's a moment of inspiration that kind of changes, that makes you evolve a little faster, a little more. You know what I mean?
That's a hard question. And it really is, because I've had so many wonderful moments. And I think that the first one that would come to mind was when I started and my mentor came into where I was working and said, you're kinky, you've been doing this lifestyle, you would be great as a profession. And, we all hear that. And just because you do it in your personal life does not make you a good professional. It's a totally different mindset. And I basically looked at her and I said, I'm not going to have sex with a bunch of strange men. That's not what I want to do. I want to control the men. And she goes, honey pie, I don't have sex with any of my boys. They don't earn that. And I was like, well, let's talk then. And that kind of set me on the path to, I'm going to do this and I want to do it. And then I would say that one of the other ones was the first time I branded one of my slaves, probably about 25 years ago, and having put a permanent mark on another human, branding them as my property was definitely, it's like, okay, yeah, this is who I am and this is where I'm going to be.
I'm gonna get a picture in my head. Where was the brand? Where did you brand them?
On the thigh,
The inner
side of the
thigh,
thigh, side of the
the
thigh.
side of the thigh. And what did the brand say?
It was my initials with a spiral.
Oh wow!
We've since modified that.
How many people have you branded?
4, 5, 4, 4, 5.
Nice.
If I forget
How
somebody,
about
I'll get in trouble if I forget somebody. You forgot me. How do you know? I didn't name names.
you forgot how many people you branded?
Gotta remember.
Oh my god! You should be proud of that.
All right.
Oh, that's good. All right. Okay, this is a fun question, but it's still a serious question because you do travel.
I do.
And a lot of doms I know they travel, they go on tour, so they're all over the place. And is there a favorite prop or toy that you cannot travel without, and why?
My brain.
That's true. You need that.
I don't travel
Fair
with
enough.
toys.
We go.
I do not travel with toys. I traveled with toys in the beginning of my career, and it was a pain in my freaking ass. So
Mhm.
I am not taking a suitcase. I'm going to go to a friend's dungeon that has pretty much everything I need, and I'm going to tailor make my scenes to what I'm able to do with the equipment at my friend's location. I am not traveling with single tails. I'm not traveling with sounds. I'm not traveling with Hitachi. No, no, not doing it anymore.
All right. All right. You wrote the Toy Bag Guide to Chastity, and you also host a
I
podcast.
I do, and I need to get back on both of those.
Okay, let's talk about the Toy Bag Guide to Chastity. Tell us about it.
It's a book about chastity.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of books. There are books about chastity, but what makes yours different than the other books about chastity?
Mine was one of the first. Believe it
Okay.
or not, mine was one of the first. It was done by Greenery Press, and it was done. It's hard to find now. There actually are some copies left in the warehouse. I have to get away from the publisher, and it was the whole series was done by Greenery Press. And the woman who was in charge of it, she wanted to do mini toy bag guides that you could, throw in, read for a week. And it was kind of like before virtual classes. This is what it was. It was a pamphlet and a book on how to do this. So she went to a bunch of us kink experts, educators in the scene and said, "Hey, do you want to write a book on this topic? You do this really well." And I was the one she approached on chastity because she knew it was one of my big kinks. And I said, "I've never written a book before. I've written papers, I've written for websites, but sure, let's give it a try." And that's how that came about.
Nice, nice.
Honestly.
Yeah. Is anyone locked up right now? Do you have anybody locked in chastity right now?
Yeah, all my men are locked in chastity.
All right, that's a quote too.
Shut up from downstairs.
All right. Plastic, silicone, or metal? Which do you prefer?
I prefer metal.
Yes, me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Silicone
I,
tends to be, if I had a second choice, it would be silicone. But silicone cone tends to get discolored and start smelling funky after a while. Plastic is great if you're just starting to experiment with it and you're not sure. Do you like it? Do you want to be locked up for how long? How does the cage fit? But if I'm going to have you in long term chastity, it's going to be metal.
it's so permanent. It's a
Yeah.
feeling of permanence, which is very satisfying.
Yeah.
In
Plus,
many ways.
they are sexy as shit. I'm sorry.
Yes, yes.
Between mature metal and steel works, and yes, I'm giving plugs.
Yeah,
It,
well,
yeah, the
I got
devices are
one of
hot as
those.
shit.
I got one of those. And for a plug, you get 15% off with offer code YKF at Locked in Lust. If you are starting out, plastic one is a very good start out.
I
And plus
have that one for one of my boys in beginning in
device.
plastic. It's a good device.
Yes, and also we just got this. This is wild. Oh, I don't have it. We have the the crotch rocket, which is a strap-on dildo for people to wear who have chastity. So I could wear it, and my queen could ride it all the time, squirt, just keep me locked and tease my cock the whole time. It's great.
Okay,
Back to chat.
I need to see more about this. I need to get one of these.
Oh wait, I do have it. Yes, there it is. I'll bring it out, and you can get 15% off all chastity devices with Locked and Lost. Yeah,
Interesting.
we call it the saddle. Yeah, I can't show the back because of it. All
Oh,
this.
okay. All right. Well,
But
cool.
yeah, the right here is where the cock, the chastity device goes.
Oh,
And
I like that. That's kind of cool. It's like right above it rides above it.
yeah, yeah, totally.
I
It's
like
great.
that. I'll have to get one of those.
It's wonderful. 15% off with offer code YKF. So what's the longest time period you've had someone in chastity?
Uh, Continual, but well, I mean, my collared slave has been in chastity for 20 years.
Is there any release?
Yeah, when I give it. Yeah.
How often would you give it?
About every other month.
Oh, it's very nice of you. That's
It is.
they should thank you.
It is. It is. It is. It's orgasm control and denial. I do
Yes.
like to control when the orgasm happens. It is a big kink for me. And also, I believe that a man needs to release regularly because it's good for his body.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Thank you,
You're welcome.
Mistress Simone, for that. Let my queen know that. Yeah.
Oh, don't use me as an excuse to have an orgasm. Don't you dare.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, she's. I get trained to fuck well. That's what I'm supposed to.
Good.
That's what I do. All right, creative ways to tease a sub in chastity. Let's go. Let's split it up in person and also online. What are some creative ways to tease a sub in chastity?
Well, it depends. It could be anywhere from in person with me sitting on them, rubbing against them, using my Hitachi on them, getting them excited, letting them suck my toes. It really depends on what they're into. But anything, whether it's remote or in person, any way that I can use my mind and my body without going over my boundaries to heighten their difficulty is the best way for me to tease.
You have a podcast. You have a
I do.
podcast.
I do. I need to get back to it.
I was listening. You have a beautiful voice too.
Thank
So
you.
tell us about the podcast starting out, but also what was the response?
The response was wonderful. It was fantastic. It was the first female dominant podcast. When I started it, there was none. Now there's probably about 25. But this one was started way back when, and it came out of, it was when podcasts were new, and when they were all baby podcasts. We all were like, what's a podcast? We have no idea. We've never heard of it. And I traveled a lot to conventions and education. And while I was there, my, main boy and I were like, when he's like, well, why? He goes, you really should interview these women while you were there. And then you can either, record them and put them in a podcast or, record them and put them in a book. And I'm like, well, let's give it a day. I've never heard anything like that. There weren't a lot of kink podcasts back then. And I started working with Dan and Dawn of the Awakening podcast. They interviewed me for it. And theirs was one of the first kink podcasts ever. And I believe they're still doing it. So they interviewed me, and when I said, hey, I want to do one based on female domination, they were very supportive and helped me kind of get it up and running. I'm still not very technically savvy on it, so I still need help with it. And I've got like probably 7 interviews from COVID that are my lost COVID files that I need to put out.
Okay. We're already 40 minutes in. Let's get whimsical.
Yes, we are.
Names. A lot of people use
Mhm.
whimsical names. Um, my very good friend Nico Noir, she has names for her subs. She sent me she screenshots of some of the subs in her phone. Like there's, like toilet Ron or crossdresser or Terry or what. Yeah, there's all these like certain names, but then they get weird, you know, and funny names. Now, without giving too much information, do you have any silly names or interesting creative names for your subs?
Uh, yes, I have Mam's Geek Slave, and he's one of my collar boys. He's my little geek boy because we're both geeks and we talk about sci-fi and stuff. I have my Garcon, and he is my valet, and he takes care of things. And then I also have my pincushion, which everybody knows my pincushion because he gets stuck a lot. And yeah, I love giving unusual names. Now in my phone, I've got some really interesting names like freaking time waster chastity asshole. Or
Spell it out.
wink or no tribute sender. So yeah, we all do that. So yeah.
I think you know what I want to do. I think I want to make a book, a collection of those. Uh, I'm, I'm trying to do a whole series of books where we make it. I don't know. This is on the. Stay tuned, everybody. What about names for toys? Do you have certain names for toys? Dildos, floggers. You know, my friend Luna has this huge dildo. She calls it the intruder.
I have a very small selection of toys that have names. My single tail is called Baby because she's my baby now, and I have another. I finally got a tentacle dildo from Pincushion, and that's my tentacle monster. Um, and then there's a paddle or two that have like world's worst paddle, but it's kind of fun. There's one that is called Little Bitch. It's a small wooden paddle that stings like a mother. So I do have some whimsical toy names, but not a lot. The toy has to be really special.
You were talking about sci-fi. I love science fiction as well. I'm not huge into science fiction, but I respect it. I'm watching Alien Earth. I have a
I just
huge.
started Alien Earth,
What do you
much to
think?
my. I think that I'm doing it just to torment my geek slave because he can't watch it because he doesn't have that streaming service. And part of my
I'm
sessions is
impressed.
going to be, well, you didn't see what happened on Alien Earth, but let me tell you.
I mean, for sci-fi heads, anyone who's like knowing about something that the other person doesn't know about and then telling about it, it's like that's part of it. That's like part of the
Exactly.
whole culture.
My sadism is not kept in my dungeon.
So let's talk about sci-fi sadism. This term I just made up. What would you
I
think is
love that
sci-fi
sci-fi
sadism?
sadism.
What would you consider sci-fi sadism? If you
Oh
like, this is an
God. I
artistic
mean,
piece now. We're in an art room.
if you've looked at, my theme bondages, yeah, we've done Darth Vader tied up and fucked with a lightsaber. The tentacle monsters fit right in there. The tricorder ball weight. Oh yeah, I can pervert anything. Anything.
Yeah, love
Anything can
that.
be a dildo if you try hard enough.
That's true. All right, rapid fire kink advice. You know some of these things. We're gonna start off slow. All right.
Oh, okay.
This is a fun show. It's a fun educational show.
Okay.
You restrain someone and their arm goes numb. What do you do?
Get him down.
Okay.
Now
Kink.
go back. Go back.
Okay, yeah,
I'm either going to loosen the ropes if I can. I'm going to make sure that their arms can move at least a little bit. They can start getting circulation back in. And if that doesn't work, I'm cutting the rope and cutting them down. Now you can move on.
all right. Okay. A kinkster shows up way too high. What do you do?
I send him home safely, preferably in a cab where he can't drive, but we are not playing. If it's a brand new client, that's a no-no. If it's someone I know and is a personal collared slave, we're going to sit and you're going to chill, and then we're going to have a nice talking to later. But there are no drugs and alcohol allowed in my dungeon. So yeah, I'm going to make sure you're safe, but we're not playing.
The older I get, especially after a liver transplant, I can't do drugs.
Right.
So the older I get, um, I find the clarity to be really sexy. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Man.
I want to be
So,
your drug.
yes. Rapid
I
fire
want
kink
to be your drug.
advice. A kinkster met someone online, and then once they give them all of their money, what do you tell them?
Don't. Don't vet the person. Why do you want to give this person your money? Yes, it's your right to give them, your money. If you want to give away your money, go ahead. But if you're expecting a power exchange in return for it, you need to vet your professional. You need to vet the person you're doing it. What is the motivation behind it? Because if you're expecting some kind of return on your money, then you need to make sure that the person is real and authentic.
Rapid fire kink advice. A dom who you know is talking about robbing a kinkster or stealing from a kinkster. And before you answer, I want to say that the kink community is huge. Chicago, St. Louis are huge, very diverse. A lot of people. The more people you deal with, you're bound to get someone who's doing something negative. There's
Mhm.
always a jerk at a party. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this is not saying anything about the kink community or the people we hang out with. But let's say someone in the community is talking about stealing or robbing another kinkster. What do you do?
Well, I'm going to have to assess the situation and figure out what the context of it is. And overall, I'm probably going to see if there is truth to the factor. Are they just role playing? Or is she really or he really thinking of stealing from this other person? Then we're going to have to, I'm going to have to ask other community members. Hey, do you know this person? Do you know that this is what this person told me? And I'm going to, verify and then hopefully prevent. And, I don't know if I would dox the person. I would never want to dox anybody. But if
Yeah,
someone's actually thinking of stealing from someone, that's a crime. Blackmail is a crime, even if it's consensual blackmail. But I need
this
to know more about the fact of it.
true. And I would like to say, don't dox anybody. In
Yep.
these
Don't dox
times,
anybody. Don't
like
dox anybody.
this
Mm-mm.
this I mean, you see it now all the time with this new political situation. People are just
Mhm.
doxing people left and right.
Yeah. Don't
Kink
dox
people don't
anybody.
dox anybody because you don't know how they will react. You don't.
Exactly. You don't. You could dox somebody and you could end up dead. Don't dox
Yeah, yeah.
anybody.
They will
Yeah.
mess up your world. These are people who drill holes in the cock sometimes. Sometimes their own cock.
Right.
You think they're gonna- yeah. You think they're gonna care about yours?
Right, exactly.
All right, come on, just know your audience. Right. All right. AI kink. How have you been evolving with AI?
I don't use AI. I
Okay.
am I am a I'm a believer in reality and altered states that are created through realistic connections. And I'm not a fan of AI. I think it's going to degrade the human brain. Can it be a useful tool? Yes, but you know what? I grew up in the age of Blade Runner, Terminator, Matrix. Okay. Skynet is Google. All right.
Yeah, totally.
So, yes, do I use Chat GP? No, not really. I'll use it occasionally to look up something or, do a little bit of research, but am I going to make it right for me? No, that's what my brain is for. I'm the author. It's my art. It's my word, not a computer.
You mentioned Blade Runner, and you mentioned that you're a sci-fi lover.
Mhm.
Uh, Blade Runner is a very special movie to me. Uh,
It is.
I find it it makes me very introspective about me being human. And I think
Mhm.
that, Philip K. Dick, the original writer from it, he explored those themes quite a bit. And
Agree.
Rutger Hauer is absolutely incredible. Man.
That
Everybody,
that's my favorite death scene ever. That's
yes,
my favorite death scene of any movie. That makes me cry every time I see it. Yes, Mistress
I
cries.
want I want to watch that again. All right, let's play. Would you rather? Mr. Simone, you have to choose one or the other. I'm sorry. I know you love control, but this is a game.
Can't I have
Okay?
both?
No,
Oh,
no.
all
Yeah.
right.
All right. So if you are an extremely powerful mistress, I'm
Thank you.
scared of you.
Good boy.
But if you had to choose between doing a scene or a session that's only psychological or only physical, which would you choose?
Physical.
Okay. Would you rather? Would you rather experiment with a new kink or do the standards? Choose one or the
I
other.
want to experiment with a new kink.
Yeah, me too. All right. Would you rather have a detailed plan session or a spontaneous session?
I never plan a session. It's 100% organic. I may have an idea, but I'm going with spontaneous.
Yeah, just like this show. This show can go anywhere. I like it
Mhm,
that way because it makes you feel
mhm.
alive. And just like any kink session, any kink party, or any munch or whatever, you never know what's going to happen, right?
Right, right.
You can plan out, and if you do plan something out, you're gonna be disappointed.
Hmm.
So why do that to yourself? All right. Would you rather, Mr. Simone? Would you rather sensory deprivation, that's blindfolds and earplugs, or sensory overload, feathers, ice, hot wax, music in a session?
I'm going to say sensory deprivation because I prefer that, but sensory overload is good too. But I don't agree with the feathers, ice, and hot wax as a sensory overload, but that's okay. So sensory deprivation.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
To each their own.
To each his own. One thing I love about very successful dominatrixes, and the power that they have, and or at least that they exude, that they have their life together at least enough, to do this. So personal struggles. How do you balance the emotional and psychological demands of being a dominatrix with your own personal life?
I have cats.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. See that working totally. What are the name of your cats?
The names of my kitties are Pandora and Finnegan, and they are brother and
Oh,
sister.
those are cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are cool. What
So
kind
no, yeah, I have my cats, which are a very big emotional balance for me. I have my husband, who is also a very big grounding uh,
of?
element for me. And I allow myself, or should I say, I don't allow myself, but I enable myself to be able to do things like concerts are big for me. I love music. I love concerts. I love science fiction. So I try to not spend 24/7 as a dominatrix, even though I am a dominant and I am a dominatrix, and that's a huge part of who I am naturally. But I'm also a sci-fi geek. I'm also a heavy metal fan, so I try to make sure that the other parts of my personality and my soul get fed, and that allows the balance.
Do you like Metalocalypse? Have you ever
The
seen that?
cartoon,
Yeah.
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 You said you're a metal fan. All right. I love music. I used to I do a lot of music journalism here. Before I was doing this, I was really just doing music journalism. What are some of the best concerts you've been to? Or
Oh,
the best concert you've been to, you think? The one that really strikes a chord in memory.
oh my God. Well, I'll tell you one that didn't that surprised me was Pink.
Oh, yes. I heard she puts
And
on an excellent show.
that
She was
show, that woman's energy is
yeah.
palpable, and she's so kind and she's so giving. Pink was fantastic. I loved Judas Priest and actually Deep
Yeah.
Purple.
Breaking
Yeah,
the
and
law.
and Deep Purple were fantastic.
Rob
And
Halford.
yep,
I love Rob
yep.
Halford. Yeah.
Cher, Cher, and
Share.
yeah, the one that surprised me
Halford
was
Horn.
my husband took me to see George Thorogood, and I'm not a big fan of George Thorogood. And
Bear.
believe it or not, the man is fantastic live. He's better live than he is
Oh,
with his songs, and they're more swingy. Their music is more
oh, really?
more. Yeah, it's not country grass kind of rock. It's
Yeah.
they're yeah, they're fantastic. So
like I was saying, you have yourself put together. You're very inspiring. I
Thank you.
find self-care rituals are very important. Every
Mhm.
morning, I don't use the phone for a good half hour, or I drink water. I, I meditate. I work out. There's certain disciplinary kind of uh, routines that I do that are confidence boosting. If I'm not going to tell myself I'm good, who is? Right? And but it's also I want to write my own narrative for the day. I don't want the
Mhm.
world to. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Exactly.
I try to do that. What are your self care rituals? Do you have a ritual in the morning?
I do have a ritual in the morning. I try to go to. I'm a big hot yoga freak, and one of my slaves is takes care of that for me, so I'm able to go, and I will turn for an hour. I turn the phone off and I just go and sweat in a sweat box and put my body in all kinds of bendy positions, and it don't. There's no sound. There's just me and the positions, and I come out a hot, sweaty mess. So, and then like you, I drink water. Um, and I've just recently started doing some Shaolin breathing exercises and joint movement in the morning to keep basically it's like if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. So you want to keep your body mobile as you get older. So before
Mm.
I even get out of bed, I will move my joints, bend because I had knee surgery December of last year. So moving and caking movement is very important to me.
You wrote a blog post called "Sissification" of Sissy Eva.
I did.
You've been doing this for many years. I have a love for the whole sissification narrative. I don't live at 24/7, of course. It's for me, it's role playing. Um, I'm a switch, you know. We just switch really hard in each direction, which is great. Um, so throughout the years, my attitude has changed. My the way I play is different. For example, with me, it's romantic. It's about
Mhm.
control and it's about romance. It's not about humiliation or degradation. Don't want to. I don't think the human body. I don't think the female body is. Or females are weaker or the lesser sex or any of that stuff. So that doesn't sit well with me. That's just me. Everybody's kink is their own. I respect.
Mhm.
Everybody's kink. So, but that's changed throughout the years. Originally, it was just honestly, it was just making my cock hard. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then eventually, throughout experiencing it and talking with people and listening and living the culture, my attitudes have changed. And the narrative, my personal narrative with it has changed. How has your attitude towards sissification changed throughout the years?
I think that it's expanded a little bit. When I started, I've never been a proponent of the humiliation aspect of sissification because, like you, I don't feel that a female is something to be humiliated. I think it's something to be revered and worshipped. And, yeah, most of the sissies I played with have wanted to be a woman. They love the frilliness. They love we have the best clothes. Your guys' clothes suck. Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, men's clothes totally suck. I mean, look at that, you know? I mean, there's pretty lace there. It's sensual pantyhose. We get spandex. You guys get, what, jeans and t-shirts and suits, So I don't blame a man. And way back when, men dressed in more feminine and sensual fabrics than women. Look at kings, and royalty. So I think that the limitations of male wardrobe and self-expression is one reason that leads people to sissification. The other is the gender play and do they want to be a woman? If someone comes to me and wants to be degraded by being dressed as a seed, we're going to have a serious history lesson, and you are going to learn. That's your opinion. That's great. If you want to be degraded, maybe there's another dom for you. But for me, if I'm going to sissify you and make you into a beautiful creature like Sissy Eva, I mean that outfit is hot as shit. Come on, I love the way the corset goes. I don't want to make an ugly sissy. I don't want to, unless I'm going to have fun with it, like in some of my theme bondages, where we're going to go over the top, just off the rails. And then it's done on purpose. But true sissification me is a respect and a worship thing and a control thing, because some of the positions that sissies are in when they wear high heels, men aren't used to wearing high heels. So it's more difficult for you. So it's challenging. So you kind of have to understand what a woman goes through. So I would say that's my overall view of sissification, but it's gotten, as I've matured and expanded, I enjoy a lot more of the highly fetishized sissification, like the full
Ooh.
encased Rubbermaid, um, the face masks, um, the heavy leather, the heavy rubber, because I'm a huge leather fetishist and my husband's a huge fabric fetishist. So the entire layering of gear and making them into, like, with the inflatable boobs, it's just hot.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Um, all right. Let's. I'm going to take this time to talk about platforms. Where can people find you? Because everything's changing. It's constantly changing. Technology is constantly changing.
Mhm.
Platforms. When's the last time you were on MySpace? So, what platforms are you on now? What platforms should we look out for? What platforms do you
Mm.
think we can find you on?
My favorite two platforms are Loyal Fans. I love Loyal Fans because I am not a tech mistress, and Loyal Fans interface for the performers and the content creators is easy peasy. It's works so smoothly, and I love the engagement there. And I can do things from voice clips to video voice messages to text messages. So it's a very well thought out platform, and I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I wish I had more time on it, but because of my travels and my in person, I don't get to spend as much time on it as I like. And I do really enjoy developing long distance connections. It's a control thing. It's like, if I can control you long distance or close up, I'm going to do it. My second one is Sex Panther.
Sex Panther.
Um, yeah, and I do enjoy Sex Panther because of the immediate textability there, text chatting. I have a hard time being on the phone because of my schedule, but I can text. So if I can engage, if I can have one of my slaves tied up, or I'm watching a movie and I'm making some guy, suck a dildo while I'm watching a movie, sitting on my couch with my cat on my lap, that's hot for me. So I love the fluidity of Sex Panther. Those are my two favorite platforms right now.
Hmm. All right,
Hi.
Mistress Simone.
Yes.
Let's be whimsical, okay? And I'm going to
Okay.
take you up for the answer. I'm going to take you. I'm going to take myself out, so we can have your everybody's full attention can be on you.
Oh,
Yeah. Let's
is it
say
supposed to be like that?
yes. Yeah. Let's say let's say you have endless resources. You can do anything you want, anywhere you want, with anybody in the world. Mr. Simone, what is your ultimate kinky fan?
Ooh, my ultimate kinky fantasy, huh? Ooh. Oh, hmm. Well, I know a lot of pro doms because we spend so much time in fantasy world. We would all say wearing our jammies and sitting up with our feet up, eating a nice meal and having our feet rubbed. And yeah, but that's not mine. My ultimate fantasy would probably be, oh Lord, on a tropical island in a private cabana with all the luxuries and a full wait staff of submissives. Gender fluidity. I would have 24/7 care. I would have my breakfast made, my lunch made. I could have them encased in rubber and leather, and just 24/7 immersion into all my fantasies. That would probably be it.
That's a good. I love the fact that you're like, oh, just sit in our pajamas and get our feet rubbed. People don't realize that. They think that you. I mean, of course you do live it 24/7, but like, you, sometimes you, yeah, sometimes you just want to sit in pajamas.
But
It's
just
true.
because I'm in my pajamas doesn't mean I'm not dominant. And when my girl comes over and we're watching movies, she's not on my slaves don't sit on my furniture. They sit on the floor unless I sell otherwise. And there's still power exchange, but sometimes it's just like, let's just be real. The fantasy is,
Yeah.
let's just be real.
Now you've been doing this for a long time. I always say the kink rabbit hole goes deep. It just keeps on going deeper. Is there one kinky thing you never tried but are secretly curious about?
When I read this question, I actually spent a couple minutes trying to think of it, and I couldn't think of a single goddamn thing.
It's a good answer. It's a
Really
great answer.
tried. I
No.
even went to my husband and I went, is there something kinky that I haven't done? And I'm sure there is. I am positive that people are inventing new things all the time. But I seriously was like,
No.
I couldn't think of a single freaking thing.
Love that so much.
Like,
All right, rapid fire recommendations. They don't have to be kink related, but it's this is your kinky friend. All right, recommend when I say recommend something, it doesn't have to be the be all end all of your identity. It could just be something you like. That's really all it is. Right?
okay.
Rapid fire recommendations. Recommend a film.
A film?
A film.
To have not with Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall.
Yeah. That's it. Recommend a book.
Fahrenheit 451.
Rather. Excellent. Recommend a song.
A song?
Yeah.
Ooh, see, now you stumped me on that one. Oh, Lord. Anything by Lydia Lunch.
Yes. I have.
Mhm.
There's a movie I did PR for. I think something Napoleon, Welcome Home Napoleon, or something like that. Henry Rollins is in it. She makes out with
Mhm.
Henry Rollins through the whole
Oh, I need
movie.
to see
The name
I
of the
need to see
movie. Napoleon. The name Napoleon is in the title. I know that. But Henry, it's on IMDb. You can figure it out. Recommend a meal.
a meal.
Yeah.
Anything that is not of your ethnicity. So if you've never
Yes.
tried Ukrainian food, if you've never tried Peruvian food, if you've never tried Indian food, yeah, take a step outside your box and try something unique, and you may find you like it.
That's what's cool about Jersey. I am in New Jersey. It's extremely diverse. I grew up
Mhm.
in central to Middlesex, saying there's New Brunswick there, and any any kind of food you could think of is there, which is
Right.
awesome. Other parts of the country is not like that.
No,
Chicago, Chicago's
Chicago is though.
yeah, that
Yep.
is awesome food. All right, word association game. All right, I'm going to say a kink or a fetish. You say the first thing that comes to your head. There's no wrong answer. All right.
Okay.
Let's say I say chastity. You could say lock. But if you're thinking of if you're I don't know if you're thinking of to have and have not or Humphrey Bogart, you could say Humphrey Bogart. There's no wrong answer. Okay.
Mhm.
Then there's the jar. I don't know what's in this jar. They're little pieces of paper. So we're in this together, Mistress Simone.
I
Okay?
love the fact that it says cat blessings.
Yes. Okay. Rapid fire recommendation. Chastity.
Mm, control.
Rubber.
Pain in the ass.
Gas masks.
Uh, intensity.
Electrical tape.
E.
Rope.
Fun.
Straight jackets.
Awesome.
Sploshing.
Messy.
Smothering.
Control.
Trampling.
Strategic.
Toilet coffin.
Want one.
You know what? I think we have one that's ready to sell. It's a running joke in the show.
Because I have a place to put it right now. I'd have to take it to St. Louis.
See, this show connects people. Mistress Claudia. Some guy went vanilla, got married to a vanilla person, and now lives a vanilla life, and he forgot his toilet coffin at the dungeon.
Oh, Lord, no. Mm-mm. Okay.
All right. Here, go to the
Okay.
jar. What's
Okay.
the jar? Um, oh, 69.
Fun.
Number 69. 69. Ah, all over the place. Pagan sex.
Hot.
Speaking of pagan sex, I had a dream. This is weird. I had a dream. I have to interrupt the show for this. I had a dream that a bunch of pagan sissies did a human sacrifice and live streamed it on the air, and like murdered me, straight up murdered me, and ate me on the air. The
Did you
dream.
like watch too many horror movies before you went to bed?
No, I watch horror movies all the time. But here's the thing: is that people were. I found this out, right? Because I didn't. I guess I was dead and in the afterlife, and I was watching the internet. I was somewhere in the dream watching. I'm looking at the internet, and people from my show are on other people's podcasts talking about how I died.
This
And
is an
that's the only
interesting.
way they found out about the show is because of my death.
It's like an artist. You're famous after you're dead.
Yeah. Nico Noir was on Joe Rogan of all things. I'm like, what are you doing on go on the best show with Tom Sharpling, please. If I get murdered, go on the best show with Tom Sharpling. He'll treat you right.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. All right. Word association. French made outfits.
Service.
Pegging.
Big.
Big. Okay. All right. We're wanting to get down. How can kinky people make money? Not everyone has your experience. Not everyone has your beauty. Not everyone has your
Well, thank
wisdom
you.
either.
Are
You know what I
we
mean?
talking about how they can make money kinkily? Is that a
In
word?
general, yeah, yeah.
I don't necessarily. Are
In
you
the kinky,
asking? Oh, are you okay? Um, that's a really difficult question because it depends on the person, and not everybody can be a whip maker. Not everybody can be a paddle maker. So I think the kinky person needs to find out what their skills are and what they will gravitate for. Just because you are a good dominant in personal scenes, lifestyle doesn't make you a good professional dominant. It's a different mindset. Just because you can throw a whip doesn't mean you can make one. So it really depends on your skill strength. And some people, you can just be kinky and have a vanilla job and do your vanilla job and then have your kinky life on the side. So you do have a little bit easier now with the platforms. You've got Loyal Fans, Sex Panther, Night Flirt, OnlyFans, but you have to remember that sometimes you have to make the call whether you're going to out yourself, because on some of those things, depending on what you do, you're going to have to put in your bank account information. You're going to have to put in your real name. You have to show your driver's license. So are you that out, or do you want to just keep it private?
good advice. Good advice. What advice would you give yourself that you wish you had done sooner?
If you can buy your own property to be a dungeon, go ahead and buy your own property. I wish I had bought property in the 90 in Chicago. Imagine the shit I would sell it for now.
Oh yes. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I was in yeah. Oh
yeah.
man.
If you can afford to buy a
Wow.
building, then buy a building and buy it by yourself. Put
It
it in a
seems like
business name, but yeah, And the other thing I would also give them is be comfortable in yourself. Don't let someone tell you who you are.
we're gonna go to some fan questions, and we're gonna wrap it up. We're almost done. I knew this was gonna come in PD, so I'll do it. Do you have a PDS? Have you ever had a personal toilet slave, goddess?
I have a personal toilet slave. He's
You
been my
have a
slave. He's been my toilet slave for 20 years. So yes, I do.
so how often would is that every morning?
When we are together, he doesn't live near me, but when we are together, it is as needed. Well, whether it's early in the morning or twice a day. So it depends. But when
Now
he
does
is
it
with me,
also
he is my toilet.
do you like he's coming? So
Mhm,
you prepare. Is there certain things that you eat
yeah.
specifically, or certain things you do prepare, or what are they?
Mhm. I'm going to stay away from heavy meat. I'm going to stay away from a lot of pastries and a lot of carbs, which I don't eat them anyway. And it's going to be more fish, more salads, more veggies, broccoli, cauliflower, things that are going to facilitate.
None 67 says thoughts of a ruined O, fun, and do you make them clean your mess? None 67. Don't just like try to dispense kink. But I'll ask the question. I mean, yes, you're not a kink dispenser, Mistress Simone.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm not. I need
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts of ruined orgasms?
that. I like a ruined orgasm. And I think they're fun. And do I make them clean up their mess? Yes, I do. Because why would I want to clean that mess up?
This is an interesting one. First time. PD asks, have you ever tried starvation fetish? And what are some of the most disgusting things you fed a slave? Two totally
Two di-
different things, but
two
okay.
totally different questions there. PD, I have tried the starvation fetish. I've done it for 48 hours. It does get challenging for both parties because as the Dom, I need to be much more attentive because people can start hallucinating, they can get very weak, they can pass out. So I've tried the starvation fetish. Mm, I'm actually more of the other way, PD, where I want my slaves healthy and well nourished so I can do things to them. So I'm going to control what you eat. I am a dietary control dom. You're not going to have a lot of sugar. You're not going to have a lot of salt. So that's more me. The most disgusting things I have fed slaves, I tend to feed slaves things they hate. So if you don't like anchovies and you're not allergic to them, you're going to try some anchovies. If you've never tried sushi, and because it's raw fish, and I'm not gonna get you sick unless I want to. I don't consider my bodily fluids and functions disgusting. I consider that a privilege, so that's not disgusting. Um, I do make I'm very adventurous with food, so I will make people eat things like tripe and haggis because I actually
All right.
like those too. So I guess that's kind of disgusting for some people. And
For those that
yeah, nail clippings, toe lint, those are all things I've done too.
belly button lint,
Mhm. Well,
belly button lint.
I don't normally have any, but I'll feed them their own.
Okay. Let's wind it down. Mr. Simone, we're
Okay.
all looking for something. Where do you want your kinky path to take you next?
Anywhere in the world it wants to. Part of not having my own space in Chicago and just keeping the one in St. Louis is the freedom of worry and ability to be more fluid. As you know, I'm a very big educator and I really want to give back to that again. And I want to start traveling around the world and the country to different dungeons and help some of the younger DOMs learn hard skills because sometimes they don't get that education because a lot of our kinky events have gone away. And so I'm going to hope it takes me all over.
Finally, complete this sentence. Life is.
Life is a one-way street. There is no reverse. Go forward, go fast, do what you can, and go skidding into the end in a glorious ball of fire.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Simone. I have to say that when I wrote Your Kinky Friends, when I wrote this book, and you were one of the people who, I would see online as someone who understood like what I was trying to get across,
Hmm,
the spirit, the energy, the wisdom,
thank you.
right? That truly resonated with me, and it stuck with me throughout not only writing the book and then doing promoting the books, which started this podcast, and then through the liver transplant. Just seeing you, just doing your thing, being who
Oh,
you are. You know what I mean? Um, and like continuing, just continuing what you're doing. was extremely inspirational. That helped me keep me going. And I hope that's why I love the fact that we finally did this, because we've been talking back and forth. It's always a scheduling thing, you know, and that's how the kink works. That's how the kink idea, the community works. Time. And I always say, never waste the Dom's time. And I sure hope I never wasted yours.
You didn't. And it's been a pleasure. I'm glad that we finally connected and got together. And I know we have been trying for years. And I'm glad that we actually meshed up. And it's been a lot of fun. Thank you.
Been great fun. Thank you very much. Everybody go to patreon.com/YKF. You could please send money. We need mics. I'm putting up a wish list for mics and all this other technical equipment. It's called Your Kinky Friends, not Your Kinky Nick. Right? So we have a live show this Saturday. Doing a live show at the Manor. It's kink. It's part of my Kink Helps Kink Art and Poetry project. We're kicking it off. I'm doing a poem. I'm interviewing Mr. Shari. Briska is going to be suspending someone in the background, and I'm doing book reviews. Right? I'm reviewing books. We've got tons of books. It's great. And please read, people. This is a true love story. It's about the transformation, longing to become. It's filled with kinky sex, hard drugs, and a lot of music references. Take your broken heart.
I need to have a copy of that. Take your broken heart and write a book about it.
Take your broken heart, make it into art. And that's what this is all about. It's about how the kink community really pointed me in the right direction and steered me in the right direction, and emotionally, mentally, artistically saved me. This is a beautiful community, and I'm proud to be a part of it. And I just want to do my part. And my part is for you, everybody. Mistress Simone, thank you. It's going to be a great week. It's Monday. Everybody, please be cool, be kind, keep an open mind. Take care.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.